month before Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's premiere, Montana Jordan is careful when asked about the real meaning behind the show's title. Set a couple of months after George died in Young Sheldon, Chuck Lorre's new show on CBS will expand the Big Bang Theory universe with Sheldon's brother. Joining Georgie is Mandy, Emily Osment, and their newborn baby Tease as they navigate their unexpected family life. While the Big Bang Theory and Young Sheldon have straightforward titles, there's some commotion over Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, particularly what it means to the couple's future. In a new interview with Tufab, Jordan was asked to explain the real meaning of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage. Conveniently, the actor opted to evade the query altogether, claiming that he doesn't know because the creative decision for the show's story lies on the writers. Read his full quote below. Unlike Young Sheldon, which was born out of adult Sheldon's penchant for sharing stories about his childhood, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage doesn't have a lot of narrative points to hit to preserve the established canon. This gives Lorre and his team a bigger creative wiggle room to craft their future, making the upcoming spin-off more exciting. There is one very important detail, and that's Georgie and Mandy eventually breaking up. When, how, and why this actually happens is still uncertain right now. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage's story doesn't have to end in heartbreak. Specifically, using the phrase first marriage suggests that this will not only be the first time they tie the knot. So, while a divorce is confirmed to be on the horizon for the couple, the show can also set up a reconciliation for them down the road. It can only happen after the events of the Big Bang Theory, but at least there's a promise that at the end of the day, Georgie and Mandy will end up being together. Ultimately, hinting that George and Mandy will eventually get back together is a great way to address their predetermined future in their show. While it will still be heartbreaking to see them eventually part ways, I am happy that Lorre and his team have likely found a way to still give them a satisfying send-off without breaking the Big Bang Theory continuity. The Young Sheldon final proved that the people behind Georgie and Mandy's first marriage can perfectly strike the balance between comedy and drama in terms of their storytelling. So I have faith that they can also navigate the pair's divorce effectively. With this promise, viewers can enjoy the pair's earliest years of marriage as they start their new life with the McAllisters. When CBS officially announced the Young Sheldon spin-off centering around Georgie and Mandy, fans were thrilled. But the title itself stirred up just as much buzz as the news of the series. Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is more than just a cute, quirky name for a sitcom. It's a loaded title packed with both irony and foreshadowing. And now, Montana Jordan, who plays Georgie Cooper, is finally addressing the real meaning behind those three little words. And what he had to say is bound to raise some eyebrows. Right off the bat, the phrase first marriage doesn't exactly scream happily ever after. In fact, it almost feels like a spoiler. By explicitly labeling the relationship as Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, the show seems to be setting the stage for its inevitable downfall. Fans who've watched Young Sheldon from the beginning know that the Cooper family is no stranger to divorce, and now it seems Georgie might be next in line. Montana Jordan, 21, whose portrayal of Georgie has evolved from a sassy, smart-alecky teenager into a responsible, if occasionally overwhelmed, father, finally broke his silence about the title, and his take reveals more than anyone expected. During a recent appearance on The Talk, Montana Jordan was asked directly about the curious spin-off name. While he initially grinned at the mention of it, his answer turned serious quickly. "I think the title tells you everything and nothing at the same time," Jordan explained. "It's honest. This isn't a fairy tale. It's a story about two people who are young, impulsive, and suddenly thrown into a life they didn't plan." Jordan admitted that the word first was controversial from the start. "Some of us on set were like, man, that's kind of harsh," he confessed, "because it already assumes failure. But then we realized, that's what makes it interesting. It's about the journey, not the destination." According to Jordan, the writers leaned into the idea that Georgie and Mandy's relationship would be messy, complicated, and full of both love and learning curves. They wanted the audience to understand from the beginning that this marriage is going to have ups and downs, probably more downs than you'd expect in a traditional sitcom, he said. But that's what makes it real. It's not about being perfect, it's about figuring it out as you go. He also hinted that the writers were inspired by the reality of teenage parenthood and rushed commitments. We're not pretending Georgie and Mandy have it all figured out, Jordan emphasized. Because they don't, and that's the point. Of course, the million-dollar question is this: are Georgie and Mandy destined to break up? While Jordan didn't offer a clear answer, likely to avoid spoiling future episodes, he did offer a telling observation. Just because it's called first marriage doesn't mean it ends in divorce, he said carefully. But it does mean that these two people are going to grow, and sometimes that growth might pull them in different directions. He added, maybe it's a joke, maybe it's a mislead, or maybe it's foreshadowing. You'll have to watch to find out. Cryptic much. Reactions to the title have been mixed among fans. Some are hopeful that the name is a red herring, a clever way to draw viewers in without spoiling the eventual outcome. Others see it as a painful prophecy. On Reddit, one fan wrote, "It's such a bold title. I kind of love it, but I'm scared at the same time. I don't want them to break up." Another posted, "Knowing what we know about Georgie in The Big Bang Theory, it kind of tracks that his first marriage might not last. But man, I'm rooting for them anyway." Indeed, The Big Bang Theory is where this all started, and as fans know, Georgie Cooper is mentioned multiple times in that show. But curiously, there's never any talk of a wife or kids. Could this be because they're no longer part of his life by that point? Montana Jordan hinted at that timeline too. We're definitely playing with the idea of what was said in Big Bang. But remember, people change. People grow. Maybe Georgie just doesn't talk about that part of his past. Jordan also revealed that the rawness of the spin-off storyline hits close to home. "I've got friends who had kids young, who married young, and it's not easy," he shared. "Some of those marriages didn't make it, some did. But all of them had to work through a lot of stuff. That's what Georgie and Mandy are doing too, and it's not gonna be sugar-coated." He went on to praise co-star Emily Osment, who plays Mandy, for bringing authenticity to her role as a young mother trying to navigate love, motherhood, and identity all at once. "Emily's incredible," Jordan said. "She's so funny and strong and grounded. You believe Mandy because Emily brings all those layers, and we're having so much fun finding those little moments of realness together." There's another theory floating around among fans and critics alike, that the word first might also represent the first time Georgie truly commits, tries, and fails, or even the first time he understands what love really means. Maybe it's not about how many marriages Georgie ends up having, one critic suggested in a recent TV Line piece. Maybe it's about his journey into adulthood. This first marriage might be what defines his character for the rest of his life. Montana Jordan seems to agree with that interpretation. "It's not just about Mandy," he said. "It's about who Georgie becomes because of this relationship. Whether they stay together or not, this marriage matters. It's his first big step into being a man." While CBS has been tight-lipped about the spin-off's long-term arc, we do know it will pick up right where young Sheldon ends, with Georgie and Mandy navigating the rocky road of newlywed life while raising their baby daughter Cece. There will be laughs, tears, awkward parenting moments, culture clashes, and yes, plenty of Cooper family chaos. Jordan teased that we'll see some familiar faces from young Sheldon, but also a lot of fresh dynamics. "Missy's still around, Connie's still doing her thing," he said. "But now Georgie's got..."